It's the NFL on CBS Week 6, and we join you today from Green Bay, Wisconsin. The Packers hosting the Miami Dolphins. Dolphins 2-2, but they're 2-0 on the road. Today's game is brought to you in Sony High Definition. When we come back, it's the opening kick. Dolphins and Packers next. Mid-October here in Green Bay, and unseasonably warm. 55 degrees, supposed to hit about 60 when it's all said and done. Clear skies the rest of the afternoon for the Dolphins and the Packers. Tony Sperano, he said the team has addressed the special team issues, won't know the progress until they actually see it on the field. And Mike McCarthy, these injuries, he said injuries do come in phases. He has the confidence that these guys are going to step in, the young guys, and get an opportunity to play and come through. Dan Carpenter kicking off to Jordy Nelson. Packers won the toss, and Nelson is hit hard as he crossed the 25-yard line by Patrick Cobbs on special teams. 18-yard return for Green Bay. That's where they will open things up. Aaron Rodgers, 293 yards last week in that loss to Washington. Key interception late in overtime, and on that play, he suffered the concussion in OT. I know you like the way that he runs this offense down.
Yeah, he wants an up-tempo offense today. Acknowledge that losing Jermichael Finley is huge, so he's looking for Greg Jennings to have a big day.
First and 10 at the 26 for Green Bay. First play from scrimmage. Handoff. It's Jackson running through the line, and Jackson able to get through it for a 4-yard pickup, brought down at the 30 by Kendall Langford. Take a look at the starting Green Bay offense. A change on the O-line again. Mark Tauscher is out, and Brian Balaga, the rookie out of Iowa, getting another opportunity at right tackle. Backs and receivers. You talked about Jennings. The numbers just are not there, not what he's grown accustomed to. Jennings, early season now, 14 catches, 183 yards in 5 games. It's on pace for a 45 reception season. On second down, it's Jackson looking for a hole, and it's nothing there. Gets past the line of scrimmage, picks up 2. Channing Crowder there defensively, and what a jolt he should bring to this Miami defense, making his season debut. Crowder has been dealing with a groin injury. Take a look at the Miami starting defense, and Randy Starks moving to the outside. Jared Odrick, the rookie out of Penn State, still not ready to come back. Linebackers, we mentioned Crowder. Dolphins are excited to see Crowder with Dansby at that second level. And in the secondary, Vontae Davis is an emerging star in the NFL in his second year out of Illinois. On a 3rd and 4 movement, and a flag comes down. Rodgers throwing, deep ball down the sideline. Incomplete. He was looking to hit James Jones as Rodgers took another hit. This is becoming a trend for Aaron Rodgers.
Well, he's been a target, and he's been hit illegally.
Offside. Defense number 94. 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
And Hockey Lee, 19th season as an NFL referee. Randy Starks offsides, and Green Bay will get a first out.
Here's Koamisi coming in with a legal shot to the back of Rodgers. Rodgers saw Starks jump into the neutral zone, saw the flag fly. He's disappointed that Jones could not come up with that catch. That was a free play for the Packers, and Rodgers smartly went downfield for the bomb.
Aaron has said he makes a point before the game to talk to the officials. He admits that he's got a referee media guy to learn more about them and try to build a relationship, but he just has not been getting the benefit of calls this season and parts of last season.
Well, he knows Hockey Lee likes to work out a lot.
I think we all know that. Rodgers throwing and makes the connection to Crabtree. Tom Crabtree, first year out of Miami, Ohio. They're looking for players to step forward. He's a backup tight end, formerly on the Kansas City practice squad, and it covers 33 yards.
Just his second catch of the year. Here he is right here doing his best Jermichael Finley imitation. Look at that throw. Linebacker trying to cover from the inside as Dansby, but Dansby had his back to the quarterback. And you can see stumbles just a bit. In fact, that strike from Rodgers almost knocked Crabtree over.
Finley out. Cartilage damage in his right knee. Had surgery. Could miss up to 10 weeks. They have to make a decision about injured reserve list. Handoff up the middle. It's Jackson, and about 3 yards there for Jackson with forward progress. Well, what kind of week has it been for Aaron Rodgers? When you suffer a concussion, the way things are set up in the NFL, the new post-concussion tests. Monday, he failed the impact test. On Tuesday, he failed the balance test. Wednesday, started to get it together, passed both tests, and then on Thursday, he passed the independent neurosurgeon test, was able to practice. Friday, he practiced without any symptoms.
And looks sharp so far today. 2 balls right on target.
Jackson, 8 yards on the ground. Dime package here for Miami. Green Bay is on the move inside the 30-yard line of the Dolphins. Shotgun formation. Rodgers. Protection holds up. Now he's out of the pocket. Rodgers on the move. Throwing. Incomplete. He threw it away. Kolamisi, the rookie out of Utah, again supplying some of the heat. Defensive end in college, playing linebacker for Miami. He is a big hitter and a high motor.
Yeah, the defensive coordinator for the Dolphins, Mike Nolan, says that so many of these college defensive ends make the transition to outside linebacker, and the toughest part of that is playing pass defense. You saw Misi put pressure on Rodgers earlier. That time you saw him in coverage.
So now setting up a 3rd and 7 for Green Bay. Packers trying to keep this drive alive. John Kuhn is checked in. Running back, Rodgers. Timing throw, sideline, and it's over the head of the intended receiver, James Jones. Jason Allen drawing the assignment on the outside, and the Packers now are staring at a field goal attempt.
Yeah, that was good coverage by Allen, although the fans here at Lambeau thought there was a lot of contact down that sidelines. Rodgers, I believe, just threw that ball away as well, avoiding the interception.
Mason Crosby on for a 46-yard attempt. He missed a 53-yarder at the end of regulation. It hit the left upright, which would have won the Packers the game in Washington. This from 46 yards away, trying to get the Packers on the board, and Crosby drills it. Green Bay with a 3-0 lead early stages, first quarter. Green Bay scores on its first possession, 7-play, 46-yard drive. Crosby with a 46-yard field goal. 3-0 Packers in front, and Aaron Rodgers making the connection to Tom Crabtree. That was the big play on the drive for 33 yards. So Green Bay will kick it off to Miami. Dolphins come in at 2-2, coming off a bye week. Had that embarrassing 41-14 loss to New England. Week 4, fired their special teams coach, John Bonamigo. Replaced him with Darren Rizzi. Nolan Carroll is the deep man for Miami. And Carroll with a spin move out across the 25-yard line. 20-yard return. Jared Bush getting down on special teams to make the play for Green Bay. Chad Henne in that loss to New England. He did throw for over 300 yards, but he had 3 interceptions.
And today's facing a Packer team that has the 2nd most sacks in the NFL. Anticipation will be key for the Dolphin passing game today. He must get the ball out quickly to his receivers. Best will work the short routes over the middle. Marshall will be Henne's deep threat.
Injuries on this side of the ball, though, for Green Bay. Big ones, including Clay Matthews sitting this one out. Handoff for Ronnie Brown. He's got a blocker, but the hole clogged up quickly. Charles Woodson, who's got a nose for the football, limits him to a gain of maybe a half a yard, depending on the spot. Let's take a look at the starting offense for Miami. Pat McQuiston getting the start once again at right guard. John Jerry is out with an undisclosed illness, so McQuiston, formerly with the Dallas Cowboys, getting a chance at right guard once again. Backs and receivers. Big matchup today with Brandon Marshall going against Charles Woodson. Marshall limited to 5 catches for 50 yards in that loss to New England. We'll call it a 2nd and 9. Devon Bess is on as a 3rd receiver. Give is for Brown. Waits. Good patience, and Brown has got a first down. Takes a shot as he got good blocking up front from Berger and Carey. 12-yard gain and a new set of downs for Miami to work with.
Well, with Bess in the game, that forces the Packers to substitute defensive backs. That's just outstanding blocking up front. Vernon Carey with a good block right there. Here's Brandon Marshall on the outside with Tramon Williams. But that was really outstanding patience, as you said, Ian, by Brown, and good blocking.
And a first down for Miami, just short of the 40-yard line. Fasano, the motion man. Henne will throw it up in the air. And hauled in, Brandon Marshall. Clean catch working against Williams. So we were curious to see, would it be Woodson against Marshall exclusively, or would they mix and match? And that appears to be the case.
Yeah, Dom Capers said that they want to use Woodson all over the place. They're very confident with Tramon Williams, but he got his feet tangled up there, complaining that Marshall may have pushed off. But what Marshall did there for Chad Henne gives him a lot of confidence. What a huge target. What great range that Marshall has, being able to reach out and catch the ball like that on the sidelines.
And Marshall is one of our colleagues. He was part of the NFL Today last week. He had a great time during his bye week with all the guys in New York. Here's Henne to throw. And too high. He was looking for Devon Bess. Bess is really making a name for himself this year in the NFL with his work out of the slot. Let's take a look at the starting defense for Green Bay. Ryan Pickett is out. His backup Mike Neal is out. So C.J. Wilson, rookie out of East Carolina, 7th-round pick, gets the start at defensive end. Linebackers, Clay Matthews, leading sacker in the NFL, out. So Brady Papinga, 6th-year pro out of BYU, getting the start at outside linebacker. And Charles Woodson, 6-time Pro Bowler, loves the challenge of taking on the elite wide receivers. You'll see that today with Marshall. Try to set it up, and too high. Too much on that throw. It was Marshall. Was he in the right spot? Was Henne's throw off the mark? The two were not on the same page.
I think Brad Jones, linebacker for the Packers, got in the throwing lane. Jones goes about 6'3". It's just difficult for Henne to get that quick pass out to Marshall because Jones does such a good job. Here he is right here. Watch him come right up. In motion there is Marshall. And there goes the ball over everybody's head.
So it brings up 3rd and 10. Miami is in Green Bay territory. Packers with a 3-0 lead. Henne with a deep drop. Sets up the long throw and caught by Marshall. Strong strike downfield to the 25-yard line, and it covers 23 yards through the air. Another Miami first down.
Well, that's the thing about Henne. He's got the arm to reach the entire field. And now when you've got a guy with the skills of Marshall at 6'4", his ability to catch the ball that is high in the air over the defense, that's what Dan Henning, their offensive coordinator, wants to do, is get Marshall to be more of a deep threat down the middle of the field.
And a 1st and 10 now, just short of the 25. Give it to Ronnie Brown. Tried to bust it to the outside, and the Packers were ready. He got bunched up with a teammate. No gain on the play. Tramon Williams helping out in run support to make that stop on Ronnie Brown.
Good drive, though, for the Dolphins and for Chad Henne. That 3rd down conversion there, something the Dolphins have done very well this year, well over 50% on 3rd downs. That was a difficult one, and he found his big play receiver and will continue to attack the middle of the Packer defense.
8th play of the drive. Chad Henne, the Packers actually considered taking him in the 2nd round in 2008, but they went with Brian Brom out of Louisville, who's now with Buffalo, 1 pick ahead of Henne. Henne to throw. Oh, he's got a gun. Caught by Marshall inside the 10, and the Miami Dolphins are knocking on the door. That's a 19-yard hookup with Williams and Pepper there defensively. Miami will have a 1st and goal trying to take the lead here in Green Bay.
And what they're able to do with this passing offense right now, Henne getting the time to throw because Clay Matthews is out, Pickett is out. So he's got time to throw, and the Packers playing zone defense. The big hole right over the middle, deep.
All 3 of his completions have come to Marshall, covering 55 yards. 9th play of the drive. On a 1st and goal from the 6. Up the middle, Ronnie Brown carrying some tacklers with him, and he's able to pick up 3.5 on the play. 2nd and goal coming up for Miami.
This is where it's such an asset for Miami on their running attack to have a Ronnie Brown at 230 pounds, a Ricky Williams that goes 230. Both of them very good between the tackles, keep their legs driving, allow that offensive line to just push that Packer defense back and hopefully get in the end zone for Miami.
2nd and goal. Dolphins trying to take the lead. Inside handoff. It's Polite. He gets cut down. B.J. Raji fully prepared on the interior, and it's a 1-yard pickup.
Yeah, at 340 pounds, B.J. right here, number 90. Watch the job he does. He doesn't go for this fake at all. He reads the blocks, beats the block, gets down inside, beat Richie Incognito that time. Big tackle by B.J. Raji.
Long drive, first possession for Miami, 11th play. 3rd and goal for the Dolphins. Packers lead 3-0. Brown in the backfield. Henne wants to throw for it. Fires and complete. Touchdown, Miami. Davon Bess. Dolphins take the lead here in the first quarter.
That's just the 2nd touchdown reception for Davon Bess. His 23rd catch of the year. A huge catch for Tony Sperano and the Dolphins. Left side of the screen, you see, look at the pass protection, the throwing lane, the strike, the touchdown. It's all there for Miami.
Davon Bess, now in his 3rd year out of Hawaii, caps off that 11-play, 74-yard drive with a 2-yard touchdown from Chad Henne. Carpenter adds the extra point. The Miami Dolphins on the road where they're perfect. They've got a 7-3 lead. (7-3) Miami leading Green Bay. 6:52 to go in this first quarter. Pat Lee, the return man for the Packers, and Lee forced towards the sideline, thrown out of bounds right around the 25-yard line by Patrick Cobbs. That's a real cheesehead right there.
Hot doggy.
Check out the new CBSSports.com shop for officially licensed NFL gear. Get 3-day shipping on every order. Go to shop.cbssports.com. Dolphins leading the Packers 7-3. John Kuhn is in there along with Corey Hall in the backfield. 1st and 10 at the 24 for the Packers. Handoff for Kuhn, who got slowed down behind the line of scrimmage, was able to keep his footing and hits the 30-yard line. Good run by Kuhn, formerly a backup fullback, versatile player, Division II product out of Shippensburg. He picks up 5.5 yards on the play. Jeremiah Bell there for Miami.
Good job by Kuhn, though. He avoided Bell in the backfield, jumped over him, and got down the field for that 5-yard gain on 1st down. That's a huge gain on 1st down to keep the Packers in a situation where they can throw or run.
Aaron Rodgers so far 1 of 3 for 33 yards. Miami had 74 yards on that opening drive. They'll keep it on the ground. Brandon Jackson is checked in. No running lane for him as he picks up a yard on the play. Channing Crowder ranging over to make the play for the Dolphins.
Well, Brandon Marshall has 3 catches for 55 yards. He's going to go to the corner, best down to the inside. But Marshall is going to influence both Charles Woodson and the nickel back there, and that opens up the lane inside for Bess, and a fine throw by Chad Henne.
So now a 3rd and 4 for the Packers. Line of scrimmage is the 30-yard line. Kuhn back in there for Green Bay. Shotgun formation for Rodgers. Rodgers to throw. Tried the quick hitter, and it was broken up. Looking to make the connection over the middle with Greg Jennings, but Benny Sapp in as an extra defensive back makes that play for Miami, and the Green Bay offense stalls right there.
Well, if Sapp doesn't make this play, this ball is going to go all the way to the end zone. He just does a super job of laying out, getting both hands on the ball, and keeping Jennings from a huge play. There was nobody behind Sapp. That would have been a touchdown.
First-year punter Tim Mastay, with Davon Bess standing at his own 25. Bess fields cleanly at the 29. Zigzag move by Bess. And brought down as he crossed the 40-yard line. Solid field position after the 41-yard punt, a 12-yard return. And the Dolphins in front, 7-3. Dolphins in front of the Green Bay Packers. Last 2 games, you look at the breakdown in terms of play selection. 90 passes for Miami, 43 running plays. This is a team that certainly looked at itself as a ground and pound type of offense in the past. Henne throwing. And boy, has Brandon Marshall ever been involved early. Tramon Williams, the defender, as we get an NFL Today update to New York and James Brown.
Hey, Ian, I'm sure Dan would expect this in Roethlisberger's first offensive series. He completed his first 2 passes, but missed times on that one. Picked off by the rookie Joe Hayden. He returns it 62 yards for the Browns. Bill Dawson capitalizes on the turnover. The field goal is good. Cleveland on top of Pittsburgh, 3-0. Ian and Dan.
I don't care what your playing resume is. It's got to be some rust after the long layoff for Ben Roethlisberger, and it's showing itself against the Browns. Henne throwing, and it's Marshall again. Brandon Marshall lining up this side on the other side of the field. Tramon Williams following him. And Brandon Marshall with his 5th catch of the afternoon.
Yeah, he's on pace now to catch 100 balls today. We saw him last year against Indianapolis. He caught an NFL record 21, but 5 already. And you see there got all types of variety here. Over the middle to the outside. Just an outstanding target for Chad Henne, and Henne getting real comfortable throwing to 19.
And Marshall getting a breather all along that Miami sideline. Handoff. Ricky Williams getting an opportunity right up the gut, and Williams out across the 45 for a 6-yard gain. Time for another update. Back to the Big Apple and JB.
Ian and Dan, Kevin Cobb doing his part to lay claim to the starting quarterback position. Here's a second touchdown for the Eagles. Up top to Deshaun Jackson, the speedster, 34-yard connection. Cobb, 2 of 3, 56 yards and a touchdown. 14-0 Philly. Ian and Dan.
Dan, do you think that's a good problem, though, for Philadelphia right now?
I think it's an excellent problem. How many teams would like to have that problem?
On a handoff, it's Ricky Williams busting his way out across the 35. Great block by McQuiston to help spring him loose for a 9-yard pickup and a new set of downs for Miami to work with.
Well, let's check out McQuiston. 79 right there. He really pushes his man down inside there, working on Cullen Jenkins. Got to give Jenkins a lot of credit, though. He's playing with a broken left hand. He's got a cast on that hand, but that time McQuiston just caved him in. Again, another good run between the tackles for the Dolphins.
And Ricky Williams inching closer to Larry Zonka for first on the Dolphins' all-time rushing list. This time it's inside for Lou Polite. Desmond Bishop, first man there. A.J. Hawk helping as well. 4-yard pickup as Miami is methodically moving the football once again.
Well, you would expect this type of emphasis on the offense from a head coach, Tony Sperano, who used to be an offensive line coach. He had a bye week to work out some of the wrinkles, get back to the basics, and when it's getting back to the basics offensively for the Dolphins, you're seeing it. It's running the ball and then play action passing.
Yeah, he told us they spent extra time on red zone, on third downs, on pressures. Henne with a moving pocket. And Henne throws it away. Incomplete. What do you think of Chad Henne in our sit down with Henne? And he's been getting some flack in the Miami area for his performance against the Patriots and how his development has gone. What's your impression of Henne and where he's at in his NFL career?
Well, that's just it. This is just his 2nd year as a starting quarterback. I mean, give him a break a little bit. I know he went to Michigan. He played a lot of games there, but you're seeing today a much more polished quarterback. That throwing the ball away there, he might have thrown that into coverage last year or even earlier this year. 7th
play of the drive, 3rd and 6. Henne in the pocket. Henne rifles. Oh, great hands. Brian Hartline has got a first down. Out near the 20-yard line. That's a 9-yard hookup. And this drive continues for the Dolphins.
Yeah, in front of Sam Shields. Hartline, who caught this ball laying on the ground. And how about the throw by Henne, seeing Hartline having trouble with his footing? He throws one on the black outside corner, strike.
1st and 10 at the 21 for the Dolphins. 8 first downs for Miami, and Henne and the Dolphins use
Miami.
a timeout.
That's their first.
1:22 to play. First quarter, Miami up and looking for more. Gaping hole for Green Bay defensively. Clay Matthews leads the NFL with 8.5 sacks. Left hamstring injury. Missed most of training camp. Suffered it 3rd quarter last week. And Green Bay's defense suffered as a result against the Washington Redskins, who came from behind to win the game. On 1st and 10. Henne sets and fires. Intercepted. Battle for the football. Tramon Williams. And he won it. Picked off by Williams. Trying to feed it to Brandon Marshall.
Well, that's just an outstanding break on the ball by Tramon Williams. He slips a little bit even and still had time to get to the ball. Henne threw the ball a little bit to the inside to Marshall. but give Williams a
Green
lot
Bay
of credit.
intercepted the pass. Hit
Watch
the
this
ground,
play.
rolled over, and was
It's a
down
deep
by
out route
contact.
by
Green
Brandon
Bay's ball,
Marshall.
First down.
Watch as Williams sees the break, slips there, still has the ability to recover, but you can see the ball thrown too far to the inside. And that's one of those mistakes we talked about with Henne. Got to throw that ball away from the defender.
Back-to-back weeks for Tramon Williams. Had a 64-yard interception return last week in that loss to Washington. He's got a pick here in the first quarter today. 7-3 Miami. Packers take over. Deep in their own territory. Play fake. Well sold. Rodgers dials up the deep ball and separation. Greg Jennings. Jennings has got the step. And Jennings will take it all the way. Touchdown Packers. What a turn of events. 86 yards for the touchdown.
Rodgers gets Jennings involved, and the crowd loves it. After the turnover, just takes him one play. How about the throw by Aaron Rodgers?
Mason Crosby on for the extra point. Packers lead at 10-7. Home run ball. Rodgers to Jennings.
It's a post route. No help in the middle of the field. Jeremiah Bell hesitates right there, number 37. What a great move to the outside. And then to the post, the ball right on the fingertips. It's a foot race from here. And it's the longest touchdown reception in Jennings' career. 84 yards from Aaron Rodgers.
Tramon Williams with an interception as they were attempting to get the football to Brandon Marshall, and then the Packers turned it into 7 quick points. Nolan Carroll faked on the give, and Carroll takes the opening and brought down at the 34-yard line by Tramon Williams, doing a lot of work here for the Packers. 36-yard return, longest throw in the career of Aaron Rodgers as well.
Here's Jeremiah Bell. He's the weak safety. The move here to the outside and then to the post by Jennings is just perfect. But watch Bell. He's got middle of the field. That hesitation right there, and then that move right there. I'm not sure what he's reading. And a perfect pass from Rodgers. 86 yards. Touchdown.
Ball at the 34. Miami gets the football back, but trailing now 10-7. Ronnie Brown. Hesitation, and Brown able to take it through the middle. Brought down to the 39. It was Bishop who missed initially. Give him a gain of 5 on the play. Well, Packers told us with Finley out, Jennings would see more opportunities. I think there's some Packer fans that were questioning where have these opportunities been in the previous weeks.
Well, Jermichael Finley is such a unique talent that you try to get him the ball, and there's so many mismatches because of his size and athletic ability. But boy, Dolphins should be looking for Jennings just a touch, don't you think?
On a 2nd and 5, Brown, little shake and bake out across the 40-yard line, and he picks up 3 yards through the middle. Frank Zombo there defensively, and that'll be the final play of this first quarter. The Green Bay Packers with a 10-7 lead over the Miami Dolphins. The bomb from Rodgers to Jennings to put the Packers in front. We'll return to Lambeau after these messages. You're watching the NFL on CBS. First play of the second quarter, in Miami facing a 3rd and 2. They're 3 of 3 on 3rd downs today. They're 51% on the season. That's 2nd in the NFL behind New England. Trying to convert here. Ronnie Brown, he's got nowhere to go. Could not string it to the outside. Brad Jones, the first to contain him. And then the Packers were able to rally around Jones to bring down Brown.
It was almost as if the Packers knew this was going to be a pitch because of the formation. Jones with a good job of making sure that Brown does not get to the outside. And then all his buddies come to make sure he doesn't get the first down.
Now special teams, huge question mark coming into the week. And that punt was partially blocked. Brandon Fields, Tramon Williams, the deep man, it never made it out to him. Quinn Johnson, it looked like, got a piece of it.
Boy.
29 yards. Take another look at it. Brandon Fields, this one never got out cleanly, and yes, it was Johnson. Special teams coach Darren Rizzi, who replaced John Bonamigo, who was fired last week. Dolphins against New England had a punt and field goal block. The field goal went back for a touchdown. Also had a kick return against them for a touchdown, and then an interception return for a touchdown, just to add insult to injury after the special teams issues. Rodgers, play fake. Rodgers, high throw over the head of Donald Driver. Incomplete. Let's go back to the punt, which actually traveled 29 yards.
And right in the middle here, you're going to see Quinn Johnson. He's going to beat the block of Bobby Carpenter. And then he lays out, just barely gets a thumb on this ball. So this is not considered a blocked punt, but it certainly has to be of concern to Tony Sperano and the Dolphins special teams unit.
Quinn Johnson, a fullback, a converted linebacker out of LSU. Rodgers trying to set up the screen. He does. And Jackson cut down. Guess who? Channing Crowder, playing in his first game of the season, limits him to a 2-yard gain. Crowder, a groin injury. And Miami thrilled to have him back on the field. Well, for Miami, they've had issues. On punts, Eric Smith, the block of Brandon Fields against the Jets. And New England, Pat Chung with the block punt on Fields.
And they had 2 punts blocked in the preseason.
This is now a 3rd and 8. Packers are 0 of 2 on 3rd down conversions. Movement on that right side of the Miami defensive line. Did Chad Clifton move on the left side of that Green Bay offensive line?
Full start, offense, number 73. 5-yard penalty. It's 3rd down.
And Hockley with the call. It was on the left side, but it was the guard, Darren College.
Yeah, all it takes is just a little flinch. Here's College right there next to Chad Clifton. And that will draw the penalty. Easy call. And good reaction by the Dolphins to jump into the neutral zone after the flinch by College.
So back it up. A 3rd and 13 now for Green Bay. Spread formation with Rodgers working out of the shotgun. Rodgers looking downfield. Wide open over the middle. Andrew Quarles, rookie out of Penn State. And they believe that Quarles can be a factor in this offense. 5th round draft pick. The opportunity is there. Finley out. Donald Lee banged up with a chest injury.
So the first pass completion is to backup tight end Tony Crabtree for 33. Now Quarles gets one. He goes for 23. So it's like Mike McCarthy said, you know, we've got enough players here. We're going to run our offense. We're going to miss Finley, but we've got these other guys. 4 completions now for Rodgers to 4 different players.
144 yards through the air and a touchdown for Aaron Rodgers. They are now in Miami territory, having crossed the 50. Play fake. Rodgers stepping up. And Rodgers bottled up back in Green Bay territory. Randy Starks there defensively. That will go down as a sack for Miami. Let's go back to New York. NFL Today update, JB.
All right, Ian and Dan. Ben Roethlisberger making amends for that pick earlier. Pump fakes goes up top to Mike Wallace. 29-yard pass. That caps an 11-play, 81-yard drive. Roethlisberger, 6 of 8, 73 yards, 1 touch, 1 pick. All right, back to Ian and Dan.
And Pittsburgh in front. Ben Roethlisberger back with the Steelers, and certainly have to be considered one of the best teams in the NFL right now. Rodgers throwing and dropped. Jordy Nelson. They had a bunch of drops last week. You asked Aaron Rodgers, was that the most drops he's ever had? And he went back to his college days. He said his first collegiate game against Illinois, the Cal Bears had 9 drops on him. That was the lasting memory that he had. He knew the number exactly.
We have a way of remembering those type of things.
Yeah,
and we also remember who those 9 guys were. Right. 8 drops last week for Rodgers.
Yeah, he's not bitter, and you're not bitter either, I'm sure.
Well, you know, let's not talk about interceptions now. Let's keep it on the receivers.
But it was a problem last week against Washington. Play clock is down to 2. It's down to 1. They get the snap off. And Rodgers, incomplete and almost intercepted. He was trying to hit James Jones, but Jason Allen there defensively for Miami. The Packers are forced to punt.
Yeah, these are very aggressive corners. Jason Allen and Vontae Davis. Good reaction by Davis right here. Knows it's the quick slant coming. He just jumps right in front of James Jones. Perfect timing, no pass interference, and almost an interception.
So Tim Mastay back out. First team All-SEC as a senior at Kentucky. Devon Best waiting for it. This one towards the sideline and unreturnable. Miami will be deep in its own territory, trailing 10-7. Back here in Green Bay, and we at CBS would like to pass along our condolences to the Packers family this week on the passing of Vernon Beaver. He was the NFL's first ever team photographer, started back in 1946 for over half a century. He chronicled everything Packers from the Curly, Lambeau to Favre eras, including 6 NFL titles, 3 Super Bowls. Vernon Beaver died on Wednesday at the age of 87. These indelible images of NFL history, and his legacy lives on. His son Jim Beaver, there he is on the left, is the team photographer, and he's working this Packers-Dolphins matchup here today.
I wonder what Vernon would say about that lens, though. You know?
Yeah.
That's cheating, isn't it?
He didn't have those kind of lenses when he was taking some of those great shots.
Lasting, boy. Great pictures.
You feel the history when you come to this town. 1st and 10, ball is at the 9-yard line. Henne play fake. Henne throws, and it's complete. A slippery slope, but he's got Marshall for a first down. 18 yards through the air.
Looked like it went right through the hands of A.J. Hawk, too. Here's Hawk number 50 there. No, actually, it's the outside linebacker there. Great reaction. Brad Jones looked like he got his fingers on it, or is it Frank Zombo? A lot of substitution. That's Zombo. He can't believe he didn't pick that one off.
So Zombo, the rookie out of Central Michigan, had an opportunity there. Instead, it turns into a first down for the Dolphins out across the 25. Handoff. Ricky Williams spilled out as the Packers built a wall there. Maybe a gain of a half a yard on the play. The new NFL.com mobile apps have arrived. No matter where you are, you can track scores, set fantasy lineups, and get highlights of your team's big plays. Go to NFL.com/mobile to learn more. Now, Packers have to mix and match a lot of defensive players because of the injuries to Clay Matthews and Ryan Pickett and Mike Neal. Derek Martin, a safety, out for the season. Brandon Chiller is out with a shoulder injury. Henne on a toss for Ricky Williams, and Williams goes down pretty much initially. Desmond Bishop there defensively. Something we grew very used to the last couple of years, the Wildcat with Miami. Time right now for our Fouts Focus.
Yeah, the offense known as Wildcats been studied and studied by teams throughout the league. All will tell you the key is not worry about the threat of the pass or mounting a pass rush. Play the run by controlling the gaps and forcing Ronnie Brown back into the heart of the defense. Blitzes by safeties and corners have been very effective in declawing the Wildcat to the tune of 1.6 yards per carry this year.
Well, we have not seen the Wildcat here today. Tony Sperano told us they did work on some Wildcat this week, trying to get back to the basics of it. Henne throwing underneath Devon Best, and Best is going to come up short of a first down. Just shy of the 35, 7-yard gain, and it's 4th down for Miami. Where is the Wildcat? 17 plays for 27 yards this year. This was a very effective formation each of the last 2 years for Sperano and company.
I'm not sure we'll see much more of it today because the Packers have not been able to establish any type of pass rush, so there's no sense in running it. Just let Henne go back in the pocket and throw.
Brandon Fields the punt, no problems on that one. Tremont Williams. And a fair catch called for back at the 17-yard line. 10-7, Packers leading the Dolphins. Second quarter action continues. Green Bay Packers with a 10-7 lead over the Miami Dolphins. 8:56 to go in the second quarter. Ian Eagle, Dan Fouts, the rest of our CBS crew with you at Lambeau. And the Packers have it with a 1st and 10 at the 17-yard line. Corey Hall and Quinn Johnson in a jumbo backfield. That play never got going, and Rodgers able to get rid of it. Connects with Greg Jennings, so it didn't look pretty. Not the way they drew it up, but it's still effective. 9 yards through the air.
Well, he's going to trip over his center, Scott Wells' feet, as he's coming back here, then run into the running back. That's Kuhn there. Keeps his wits about himself, and fortunately had a wide open Greg Jennings on the outside.
So Rodgers now 5 of 11, 153 yards and a touchdown. 39th consecutive start for him. Inside handoff. You hear the fans reacting to John Kuhn, who had 27 school records at Shippensburg, former member of the Pittsburgh practice squad. He's been a survivor here in the NFL. And tomorrow on CBS, Hawaii 5-0 is turning up the heat and laying down the law. Don't miss TV's #1 news show. It's Hawaii 5-0 tomorrow, only CBS. Tropic conditions here in Green Bay today. Temperature hitting 60 degrees. First down. Brandon Jackson. Jackson takes the running lane. And Jackson with a strong run. Chad Clifton on that left side with a block. He picks up 9 yards on the play.
He really does a nice job of protecting the ball, too, in traffic. He's going to hit off the left side behind Clifton and College there. Corey Hall with a good block, but watch both hands on the ball. Vontae Davis comes in late, take him down.
Packers lost their lead running back Ryan Grant, put on injured reserve after week 1, a severe ankle injury, and a timeout called by Miami.
That's their second.
Crowder was running in with 7:12 to go in this first half. Packers leading by 3. Back here in Titletown, USA, Green Bay, Wisconsin. On the throw to Donald Driver. And Driver accelerating out across the 45-yard line for a gain of 8 through the air.
That's just great recognition and communication between a couple of veterans. Donald Driver and Aaron Rodgers played a lot of balls together. Rodgers saw the corner way off Driver. Easy conversion there on 2nd and short.
Driver now 133 straight games with a catch. That's the 3rd longest active streak in the NFL behind Hines Ward and Tony Gonzalez. 1st and 10 across the 45. On the delay, Jackson. Brandon Jackson finds a crease, and he's got a first down into Miami territory. 14-yard gain. Corey Hall with a good block to help spring Jackson loose.
Now watch Rodgers come out here, and he's going to fake the quick pass and then hand the ball back to Jackson on the draw. What I like about this play is right about here. That's north and south running right there. That picks up 8 more yards. A lot of running backs would have tried to go to the outside, but Jackson smartly sees his blocks and gets up the field.
Move the chains. 1st and 10 at the 40 of Miami in a 4-receiver set. Rodgers, soft toss for Jackson. Jackson breaks a tackle and driven out of bounds. So Brandon Jackson making something happen in the passing game with an 8-yard gain. It was Allen who whiffed initially.
Yeah, here's that whiff too. 32 on 32, and Jackson wins it and gets up real close to another first down for the Pack, as Rodgers doing a good job of spreading the ball out now. The Dolphins are playing defense back on their heels.
2nd and 2 for Green Bay, and the Packers can pick their poison. It's working through the air. It's working on the ground. 2nd and short. Rodgers, protection holds up initially, but that second wave gets to Rodgers. It's Cameron Wake. Tremendous speed out of Penn State, former 2-time CFL defensive MVP with the BC Lions. It's a loss of 12 on the sack.
That's his 4th sack of the year. Here he is right here, and at 6'3", he will get and beat the block of the fullback Corey Hall, and then the relentless effort to get after the quarterback. Looked like Rodgers might have gotten away from Wake, but the strength in those arms brought Rodgers down for another sack.
And Wake told us he picked up a lot of tips from Jason Taylor and Joey Porter last year. Asked a lot of questions, and it's paying off. Flag comes down. Not had a lot of penalties here today, just one on each team.
Offense, number 71, 5-yard penalty. It's 3rd down.
Now they're moving in the wrong direction. They were actually in field goal range before that sack. Now the penalty compounds it for Mike McCarthy and company. It's a 3rd and 19 for Green Bay.
Josh Sitton was the guilty party there. Just another flinch by an offensive guard for the Packers.
Interesting subplot here. Mike McCarthy was an assistant under Mike Nolan when he was the head coach in San Francisco. Nolan, the defensive coordinator for Miami, and McCarthy admitted to us, when you coach with somebody, you get to understand their philosophies and approaches much more. Rodgers, pump fake, and the scramble by Rodgers. He had nothing working downfield. Met by Tony McDaniel. It's a 6-yard gain. And this drive comes to an abrupt halt.
Yeah, third down conversions have been very difficult for the Packers the last 2 games. Just 2 of 13 against the Redskins. And so far today, they're just 2 out of 10.
So 4th down for the Packers. We'll see Tim Mastay once again with Brett Good snapping it. Devon Bess is deep. This one a bounce. It takes a Miami bounce. And it caroms out of bounds. 31-yard punt. Dolphins will get the football back trailing 10-7, 3:49 to play in the first half. Saturday live at noon Eastern. The Home Depot brings you a big-time doubleheader. First, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish take on the Midshipmen of Navy. Then, Game 2, important SEC matchup. Unbeaten LSU tangles with undefeated Auburn. It's a great college football doubleheader, and it's Saturday on CBS. Dolphins with a 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line. 140 yards of offense for Miami in this first half. Henne to throw. Underneath the coverage, he connects with Brian Hartline, and Hartline is down just short of the 20-yard line. Brad Jones making the stop. 6.5-yard gain on the play. So far in this first half for Miami, touchdown, strong drive to open up. Looked like they were going to get more points on that second possession. Since then, it's been 3 and out. And another punt.
And on that first drive of 11 plays, 4 of those plays were big plays to Brandon Marshall, over 10 yards each.
On a 2nd and 4. Brown up the middle. And Papinga there defensively for Green Bay, who's in for the injured Clay Matthews.
And since that first quarter, we haven't seen Henne target Brandon Marshall at all. He's got 6 catches for 83 yards and has been missing in action lately.
Ronnie Brown has enough for the first down. Packers playing without Clay Matthews. What a tremendous talent he is. Had 10 sacks last year as a rookie. 8.5 sacks so far this season. Henne to throw. Rifle sideline. It's Marshall with a rainbow delivery and a first down for the Dolphins. That was put exactly where it had to be. Had enough air under it to get it to Brandon Marshall for 19.
Yeah, it was double coverage. Charles Woodson has him short on the outside here. He turns him loose right here. Nick Collins a little late coming over. But talk about concentration. You know you're going to get hit. Catch the ball anyway. That's what Marshall did.
And a little hurry up here for Miami. Ronnie Brown through the middle, and he picks up 2 yards on the play. Charles Woodson combining there with A.J. Hawk to bring him down, and that'll take us to the 2-minute warning here in the second quarter. Packers 10, Dolphins 7. More to come from Green Bay. Miami only has 1 timeout to work with. 2 minutes to play in this first half. Green Bay with a 10-7 lead. Henne straight back. Forced out of the pocket. Henne throws on the run and throws it away. Cullen Jenkins had the heat on Chad Henne. Brandon Marshall, by the way, has gone over 100 yards in the first half. He's at 102 yards. Second 100-yard game of the season. We asked Marshall about the matchup potentially with Charles Woodson, and he said, you know what? I played against him in my second year when I was with Denver. And Marshall, these are his words, I was a young punk, I was cocky, I didn't do the film study necessary, and I learned from it. They beat me up at the line of scrimmage that day.
He did not respect Charles Woodson. He respects him now.
Play clock winding down. Henne has to hurry. Steps and throws. Again, underneath the coverage, Devon Bess. That's where he does his work. And Bess has got a first down. He's into Green Bay territory, brought down at the 46-yard line. Hurry up offense here for the Dolphins. 10-yard pickup. Down to a minute 34 and counting left in this first half. 4 receiver set. Low snap handled by Henne. Henne up for grabs, and it's incomplete. Bess in a collision. Had the combination of shields there along with Nick Collins, the Pro Bowler.
Every once in a while, Henne will revert to just trying to muscle the ball into coverage. He's lucky this one wasn't picked off. Bess is lucky he wasn't murdered on the play. Ball thrown high and into double coverage. Henne's 12 completions, 7 of them have been to Marshall. Of his 125 yards passing, 102 have been to Marshall. So the Packers are now putting a linebacker out over the top of Marshall, trying to slow him down at the line of scrimmage. Hoping to get Dan Carpenter an opportunity, and they'll use a timeout, their last timeout in this first half. Coming up, Sprint Halftime Report. Join James Brown and company for all the latest NFL scores and highlights. That's coming up on the Sprint Halftime Report. Packers leading by 3. Miami with the football, but no timeouts remaining. Facing a 2nd and 10 at the 46-yard line. Henne. Incomplete. Could not get it cleanly to Anthony Fasano, who was defended there by the linebacker A.J. Hawk. It's 3rd and 10 for the Dolphins. Yeah, well, did you notice they brought Marshall in motion, and Charles Woodson came with him, and they double-teamed Marshall short with Woodson with a safety over the top. That's where Henne wanted to go with the ball originally, but didn't want to force it twice in a row. Dolphins are 4 of 6 on 3rd downs here today. This is a 3rd and 10. Trying to get into field goal range for Carpenter. Henne looking to run for the first down, and Henne has got it. The scramble from Chad Henne extends the drive for the Dolphins with 1:07 and ticking left in the second quarter. This might be worth a measurement. They're giving him the first down, but he slid feet first and carried the ball far enough to get the first down. Line of scrimmage to 36. Running play to Ronnie Brown up the gut. And a quick hitter on the ground. 11-yard gain and another first down for Miami to the 25. And smart by Henne to get up to the line of scrimmage, snap the ball, no review. And a spike there for Henne so they can catch their collective breath. Now 41 seconds left. Let's go back to Henne on the 3rd down play where heads up. He escapes the pocket and sees it's man-to-man coverage. All the defenders have their back to him. Now he goes into a slide right about there, goes all the way across the yard line, and then got right up to the line of scrimmage, the draw play, and that brings the ball all the way to the 25-yard line, well within range for Dan Carpenter. Career long at 52. He set that last year, went to the Pro Bowl. This is the 12th play of the drive. Miami may have bigger fish to fry here. Henne, deep ball, end zone, caught, touchdown, Brandon Marshall. Dolphins take the lead. There's some conversation, though, about whether he got both feet down in the back of the end zone. Officials are talking it over right now. This would be a booth review. Here we go. Marshall sees the ball, knows he's running out of room, makes the catch, right foot down, left foot out of bounds, no touchdown. Nope. This is a booth review and just outstanding camera work by our crew. Very clear that this is not a touchdown, but a great effort by Marshall. Eyes the ball, look at him, look that ball into his hands, and just that left foot 6 inches out of bounds. This one's coming off the board. Miami in front, but not for long.
Straight from the theater to your living room a month before Netflix. Don't just watch TV. Direct TV.
Don't forget, Sprint Halftime Report is coming up. JB and the rest of the crew. NFL scores and highlights all coming up on the Sprint Halftime Report. Booth review with under 2 minutes to go in this first half. 35 seconds remaining on the clock, and that's Ed Hockley taking another look at the replay of Brandon Marshall. It's pretty clear. Marshall did get the 1 foot in, did not get the 2nd foot in. It was called a touchdown on the field,
but right away the officials got together and I think they had the conversation right here that that left foot clearly out of bounds, but the official who was running in made the initial signal touchdown did not see that foot.
And Hockley not wasting much time. That one was blatant.
The receiver's 2nd foot came down out of bounds. Therefore, the pass is incomplete. It's still down 10.
So 3rd and 10 coming up for Miami from the 25-yard line.
Good effort. When the ball was first released, I thought this ball was going to be thrown out of the back of the end zone, but it died just in time. Marshall hung with it as long as he could, just couldn't get that left foot down.
Packers with a 10-7 lead over Miami. Dolphins 2-0 on the road this season. Wins in Buffalo and Minnesota. 0-2 at home. Losses to the Jets and New England. Henne on 3rd down. And throws it out of bounds. Over the head of Brandon Marshall. They will send Dan Carpenter on the field to try to tie this game up.
You can see the Dolphins have no more timeouts, so that limited where Henne could throw this ball. They had to use some timeouts in the first half. This is a big problem when you've got confusion on both sides, both on offense and your defense.
So they didn't have the luxury of a timeout to work with, and it did affect their play calling. And at one point, Henne had to spike the football as well. 43-yard attempt. Carpenter. Straight through. We are tied at 10.
Holding. Offense number 76. 10-yard penalty.
Man. More problems for the special teams.
That is Leiden Murtha, 2nd-year offensive lineman out of Nebraska. They had points on the board taken off because Marshall was out of bounds on the touchdown. They had points on the board now taken off because of a hold on 76 Murtha.
You can see the Packers really loading up that side too. That's where Patrick Chung came through to try to block the New England in the New England game. But that was Murtha on the outside pulling down Trent Williams.
Well, now this is Carpenter trying for a career long, 53 yards away. Carpenter. And he drills it. Dan Carpenter comes through late stages 2nd quarter. We are knotted up at 10 apiece.
And nobody clapping with more enthusiasm than Darren Rizzi, new special teams coach. You know, on the previous kick, which was 10 yards shorter, a 43-yarder, it barely made it. That one went through with ease from 53.
Yeah, it was interesting to see Murtha coming off the field. Not only his special teams coach Rizzi there, but Chad Pennington, the backup quarterback, there as well, trying to explain to Murtha what the problem was.
Here's the hold by Brandon Fields. He tilts the ball back into the right for the kicker. That's the way these soccer-style kickers love it. And there's the result, a beautiful drive right down the middle.
And a career best for Dan Carpenter, 3rd-year kicker out of Montana. I think Tony Sperano is pumped up. It's been a long stretch for the Miami Dolphins, left to think about what happened against the New England Patriots. National television game on Monday night. You know the rest of the league is watching. And the Dolphins have acquitted themselves quite nicely here in the first half against Green Bay. Tied at 10. Had chances. The interception by Henne, picked off by Williams when the Dolphins looked like they were driving for more points. Carpenter now kicking off. Pat Lee is the deep man for Green Bay. And they'll take it from the 5-yard line. We've got 18 seconds left, first half. Lee slowed down and using up more clock as it ticks down to 12 seconds remaining. Alama Francis, first man down the field to make the play. Wednesday on Showtime, JB, Chris Collinsworth, Phil Simms, and Warren Sapp come your way on cable's longest-running show, the multi-award winning Inside the NFL. That's every Wednesday on Showtime. 7 catches, 102 yards in the first half for Brandon Marshall. Packers have all 3 timeouts remaining, but only 12 seconds left, and deep in their own territory at the 15. They'll take a knee, and that will do it for this first half. Miami and Green Bay here at Lambeau, tied at 10-10 at halftime. Marshall, big numbers. Rodgers with 169 yards and a touchdown for Green Bay. And we'll come back with the Sprint halftime report that's coming up after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS.